Hi everyone! Tonight I am actually going to be going to the Lantern Festival, so for those of you who live in the Raleigh area, there's a really nice thing that happens every year called the Lantern Festival. This will actually be my first time going since before the Panini. I was in college, so I pretty much had no way to go because I was always super busy. So I'm going with some friends. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm dressing up. I'm always looking for a good excuse to dress up. You can kind of see my shirt under it, so that was a mistake, but oh well. I'll just kind of try and push it out of the way. So yeah, I'm just going to be doing a really simple look. It is going to be really dark outside and there's going to be a lot of pretty lights, so I thought I would do something that's like super sparkly that'll really catch the light. But other than that, the base is going to be super simple. Everything else is going to be super simple since it's night. So I'm just going to start with some lip balm. My lips have definitely been feeling the seasonal changing. I was talking to some people at Ulta the other day and they were saying that my under eyes might actually need more of like a lavender corrector. So I'm not sure how true that is, but I did get one off Beauty Box Korea for like 14 bucks, so that'll come in. So in the meantime, I'm just gonna go ahead and do some like really light concealing and stuff like that, nothing too fancy. I'm gonna use the Bobbi Brown Hydrating Eye Cream beforehand. I did use some, I obviously have like all my skincare on and stuff, so for primer for my face, I'm using my Dominique Cosmetics primer. I still have yet to find primers similar to this besides this, and I still have one more backup, so it's not like I'm like in an urgent situation, but once that runs out, if nothing similar has come out by then, I'm gonna be kind of shocked. I mean, there's like makeup coming out every 5 seconds. You'd think eventually a company would think to make a primer somewhat similar to this, but like I've tried some that had that similar watery texture and they're not ever as hydrating or as blurring. They just kind of like become nothing. Like I can't even feel it. Or if they are blurring and watery like the MAC one, they're just not as hydrating. So I've yet to find one that's like as good as this, which is just kind of a shame. I don't know why. Limited edition primers, powders, and things like that just bother me. Alright, so I'm not really going to use any foundation today. I'm just going to use concealer and kind of be done with my life. So like especially when it's just like a quick outing, I usually just kind of go in with some concealer and call that done. Particularly because usually it's really only the center of my face I care about. Like I want it to be brightened and I want it to look nice, blah blah blah. So, and I'm just going to use a brush. I used to really be anti-brush for my complexion, but as long as I don't like rub and the brush is sufficiently soft, I actually don't mind. So I'm just going to use this Laura Lee brush. I do actually really like Laura Lee's brush sets. I never ended up getting the birthday one and now it's gone forever and I'm like kind of salty. So I feel like at this point the one I have is not the current formula or packaging. It gets repackaged and reformulated pretty often. So the one I have at this point is probably not what you would see if you looked for it. It's the only liquid concealer I currently have in my collection. I got rid of all my other ones. And as you can see, it also brightens up the center of my face really nicely. Korean complexion products just tend to have a really great undertone for me. There's a little bit of emphasis of dry spots, but it is kind of a more matte concealer, so I'm not too terribly surprised. I am on the hunt for a new liquid concealer for the winter. I saw Pony talk about how she uses hers, but she uses the Huda concealer that's long since been discontinued. And then for my concealer, I'm just gonna use the Shiseido one today. I honestly think this is just the wrong shade. I have come to realize that if you want to cover your dark circles, you need to use concealer that's the same shade as your skin tone. If you use a lighter one, it actually does a worse job covering. Hi Gates. I'm not zoomed in right now because I'm having issues with constantly going out of frame if I zoom in too far. I really need to figure out a way to set up my filming space such that I can zoom in without having to like sit in one singular position and the moment I move I go out of frame. So this is about as good of a coverage as I'm going to get, but that's okay because I do have another kind of trick I can use, and that is to whip out a powder foundation and use that to set my under eye. So I'm going to use the Urban Decay one, and I'm going to use that very selectively to add more coverage. And I just tap it right over the groove. And I only use just enough right at the groove so that I don't look super dry. Now I am head over heels in love with the Sugu powder right now, but I've come to realize that if I'm already using brightening products, that using it can kind of start to make me look a little ashy, and I've discovered that powder looks best if I have almost no makeup on. For now, I'm going to use a totally different powder. I don't really want to set my face too much because it's going to be cold and dry outside. I mean, like, my makeup is going to wear fine, but I just need to set it just a little bit. So I'm going to use the SAIE loose powder. It is super non-drying, so it'll be perfect, and I'm literally just going to use such a teeny tiny amount, just enough that things can set. I really mostly just need it on my nose and forehead and eyebrows and the corner of my mouth, but everywhere else I'm just gonna kind of, basically I put on like nearly no powder. And I'll try and have some photos so you can see my actual outfit, because I like totally don't have a filming setup where I can like show my outfit. And then I'm going to use some setting spray. So I'm going to use the D'Alba setting spray, and I'm just going to use that to put some moisture back in my skin. Just use a little bit. I need to do my eyebrows, and so for that I'm just going to use the Benefit Microfilling Pen. I really like this. This one is not dried out on me and is actually functioning really well. So I'm glad I gave this product another chance. I still do wish they would come out with more colors though. It's like such a subtle difference, but it looks really good. I do really like it. And then it's not dark enough to frame the underside of my brow, so for that I'm going to use my Glossier Brow Flick in black. And I really like to use only pens for when I'm doing lighter going out makeup. I think it just looks the best on me. And this is why I don't really want to get my brows microbladed, because I do really enjoy being able to like customize the shape of my eyebrow. So that's going to be the eyebrows on. So I'm just going to use like some really simple shadows, nothing too complicated, because I'm wearing, my outfit is mostly, as you can see, it's red and black, and it is kind of like a Chinese inspired, kind of Chinese traditional clothing inspired outfit. So I'm going to use shadows that kind of match that, and so for that I'm just going to go with something really like simple and cool toned, and then like do some wing liner and maybe something sparkly. So to start with the wing liner, I'm going to be using the BOBBI brown liner in Espresso Ink. This is a really unique shade in my collection. Kind of black, but also not really. And the reason I'm going to use this today as opposed to my melt ones is because it has a much more stiffer, firmer texture. So I'm going to have a lot more control over where it goes. And I'm just going to go straight in and start working this onto my eyelid. I'm using a Shiseido brush. This is a new brush I just got. It doesn't have the name on it, but it's their liner brush. It has such an interesting shape, and I do personally actually high-key really like Shiseido's brushes. And I'm just going to start framing the wing. It's not super thin, so it can create like a smoky wing really easily. So I've done eyeliner enough times that I know how far up I need to take things for it to show up. If you're just starting out learning to work with your monolids, just take it nice and slow. You know, make sure you're not anywhere that you have to be in a rush, and just work up slowly, kind of start to learn more about how far up you have to take your eyeliner. It's gonna be different for every single monolid. So like for me, I take it up that high and it starts to show up. For you, it might be higher or it might be lower depending on where and how yours fold. And definitely experiment with the angle of the wing as well. Again, everyone's preferred angle is going to be different. If I want mine pointing up more, there's very specific things I have to do so that it doesn't look awful. Versus if it's horizontal, then it's a lot easier for me to do. I don't really have to like do as much preparation. But again, it's going to be different for everyone, especially because even if you have monolid, you can still have monolid upturned eyes, monolid downturned eyes, monolid small eyes, monolid big eyes. So like even if somebody says, oh, this is my monolid eyeliner guide, it's super helpful, it might not be helpful for you depending on your eye shape. And then I'm going to start to smudge it. It's not quite as smudgeable as the melt liners, but it still smudges in a really interesting way that I still really like. It's just like two different formulas, honestly. I don't think one is better than the other. I kind of wanted it to go up more, but that's fine. And of course, now here's the hard part, is going to be making it symmetrical. Again, frequently people with monolids, their eyes will be different shapes and sizes, even their left eye and right eye. There are definitely makeup tricks you can employ to kind of have the illusion of a more symmetrical face if that's something that you want to do. And I'm not going to draw the wing yet because I need to make sure that it's symmetrical to my right eye, which is the hardest part. Frequently, if your eyes are not symmetrical, you'll notice that if you do the exact same shape shapes on both eyes, it still comes out looking different because the fundamental shape you're working with is different on each side. So you have to kind of make tweaks. So for example, for my left eye, I have to take my eyeliner up a little higher because my left eye kind of folds in a really weird way, and I have to do the angle of the wing different because my skin wrinkles a different way, and so it's not going to be the same shape and angles as my right eye, but then when I open my eyes and I'm looking at the camera, it looks symmetrical. And I still have issues getting my left eye to be symmetrical. Like, I think today it's not quite the same, but like that's okay. And this is also why it's nice to just kind of smudge it out once you're done. Yeah, the angles of my wings are different, but like whatever, nobody cares. And as you can see, I think my right eye needs to be brought up higher, but I can do that with eyeshadow. So I'm going to call this done, and I'm going to use eyeshadow now for the from now on. So I haven't had a chance to feature this on camera yet, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use it here so that you guys can at least know that I have it and I'm going to work on it. I have the All Done Up palette. I got it during the Black Friday sale, but of course, as you guys know, I'm so behind on my Black Friday purchases. A lot of things happened, so I'm going to go into this shade here using All Done Up. I will definitely be making a video doing 3 or 4 looks with this palette. I think it is absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to take a small brush and go into Goddess, and I'm going to use that both to set the eyeliner and to smudge it up higher, particularly for my right eye. And this is the stage where things can go very wrong very quickly. So I'm just going to take it nice and slow. It's almost 6 now and we leave at in an hour and 15 minutes, and I still need to eat dinner, but I think we got time, right? Okay, so I didn't talk through a lot of that just because I was on the phone with parents. So, but basically I just finished off by adding a very light neutral shadow to just kind of contour my eyelids, add a little bit of depth, but the focus is still going to be on the eyeliner and on whatever glitter shadow I pick up. So now I'm going to go through my collection and let's pick out something really sparkly and pretty. And what I really want to show off today, I know it's going to be so anticlimactic, but it's going to be the topper of this Tom Ford Cream Shadow Duo. These were on sale from $64 to $32, and I've always wanted to try them, especially now that I have the Auric ones. I have used Naked Bronze as a one and done when I had a Pokemon Go event, and you guys, it is absolutely beautiful. No regrets whatsoever. So today I'm going to use the topper side of Golden Peach. These toppers are absolutely beautiful. I think they're a lot better than the Auric toppers personally. And because my base is a little bit more matte, they're not going to stick super well, but it's not that big of a deal. I just want something nice and kind of subtle. I'm going to use this as like the base glitter shade, and then I'm going to use something a little more intense on top of it. And it's so pretty, especially for one and done looks. So I love having these in my collection because if I'm just going out to like run errands or do shopping, or if there's just a little event going on and I want to get a little bit dressed up for it, I just throw on Naked Bronze. So as you can see, it's just so delicate and pretty, and especially if you use your finger, it becomes a lot more intense. For the point shade, I'm going to use this About Face Fractal Glitter Paint. This is another one I haven't shown on camera as much as I feel like I should have, but again, this is also just absolutely beautiful. And you can use it either like you can tap it onto a brush and then use it, or you can just use the doe foot applicator. I'm just going to tap it on lightly on the middle of my eyelid. You can kind of see the doe foot streaks I used because it does set pretty quickly, but that's okay. And the shade that I used is called Tin Pan Alley. Now I totally could have used one of my like indie singles for this, but I just really wanted to show that off, and it's just so quick and easy, especially if I'm like kind of sort of in a rush. So I recently got this from Oasis Makeup, and oh my gosh, I love this so much. It is a really beautiful clear lid magnetic palette. These were a little bit on the pricey side, but they are so well made. I'm going to use this shade here. This is my Terra Moons collection, so I'm going to use this shade right here. It's called Antares. And then I'll use something else for the inner corner because even though I haven't been filming, I did, you know, if I felt like I needed to just take my mind off things, I would kind of just put on makeup, and like I wouldn't put it on to make a pretty look. I would just put it on to be able to play with and experiment with applications, products, and color combinations. Learned a lot of kind of fun little new ideas and tricks. But yeah, that's gonna be that shade. I know I used like so little of it, but it's really pretty. I like it. This is just kind of another fun makeup therapy sesh for me, honestly. We're just having fun today. And then I am going to use an inner corner shade, and for that I got the entire M Cosmetics singles collection during Black Friday. They had it, if you buy every single shade in a collection, it'll be half off, which is ridiculous. Let's be honest, it is ridiculous. Especially for something like their blush and bronzer sticks. It's like, why would you buy every single shade if you're not a makeup artist? Because like it's not even for your skin tone. But for something like lips or single shadows, I could very easily justify it. So I got the single shadow collection. I have every single shade now, which I've been wanting for years. So this was honestly for me the perfect opportunity to get them at a slight discount. So I have no regrets. So I'm going to use the shade Luna on the inner corner. Don't really want to overpower the sparkly middle eyelid. So I want the inner corner to be a more kind of smooth, and these shadows are kind of squishy almost, so they go on really smoothly. It's like the ultimate smooth metallic. Like here, look at that. And they do go on best with a finger, so with a brush you kind of also can really shear it out since they are such a smooth putty like formula. So this is kind of the perfect inner corner shade for me today. I just want to play with my singles. My singles definitely deserve more love. One of my goals in 2023 is to use my singles more often in more videos. Now I still do have to go into palettes for mattes because I mostly have shimmer singles. And so then I'm going to put on some mascara. I'm just not really feeling false lashes tonight. They definitely would elevate the look, but and I still do have a waterproof mascara that should work. I'm going to use my HOLIKA Among Us mascara. It's starting to dry out, but it'll do for today. I need to remember to use a hairdryer to heat up my lash curler more often. Matcha! Matcha's being so bad. Get off. No. Excuse me. No. No. Matcha. And then sometimes my eyelash curler can, you know, take off some of the eyeliner, and that's fine. You just go back into your dark eyeshadow and you just stamp it right back over. And then the other thing that I like to do is so to kind of compensate for the fact that some of my eyeliner likes to run away to my eyelash curler, which is fine, it happens, you just take some liquid liner. And it also helps to add some depth as well. And then I'm going to do some inner corner liner. And then I'm going to do lower lash mascara, and for that I'm going to use the Benefit Roller Lash. And I do like the wand, so I don't really want to make a mess of my under eyes today. Yeah, I don't need it to be super dramatic today, it's fine. It's whatever. I don't have lower lashes and we just need to accept that. Okay, so that's gonna be the eyes complete, which, yeah, I'm slow today, but this is gonna be the look, just like a super soft wing with some eyeshadow. So I'm going to do some blush and some bronzer. So I just got this. This just arrived to me last week, but of course I haven't gotten around to using it yet but this is gonna be the KALEIDOS Symphony Contour Trio. So pretty. I got it in the shade Light. I missed out on the previous one. I only have the warm and medium, which is okay, but I never was able to get light and cool, and that was a real bummer for me. So I'm just using the middle shade. It's a lot lighter on my skin than it looks in the pan for sure, but I don't know if you can, it's hard to see, but like, wow. I like that a lot. And then just towards the back, I'll use the darker shade just towards the back, and it's blending out so easily. Nice. I'm also really excited to have a matte highlighter. I really want to try some Douyin makeup tricks that need a matte highlighter to work. So I'm definitely happy to have that in my collection. It is available. The matte highlighter is also available as a single if you don't want a whole contour trio, which is nice. And that was so quick. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, I like these. This is good. We approve. And I'm just gonna use this right in the center of my face under my eyes. I'm getting a little shiny. Okay, so then for blush, I am wearing, as I said, I'm wearing a red and black outfit. This is really neutral, so that gives me a lot of leeway to mess around with the blush. So I think what I'm going to use is I'm going to use this shade here, Afternoon Red from TERRA. It is a very red blush, but I'll show you. You can definitely sheer it out pretty easily. So I'm just going to use a stippling brush, and I'm going to stick this right under my eyes. And because my eyeshadow is so neutral, I can almost let this be like part of my eye look. Everyone's eating dinner downstairs, but I'll join them soon. Such a pretty, and it definitely is going to match the aesthetic of my outfit. Whenever I wear more Chinese inspired outfits, I always put my blush right here. I think it just looks really good that way. And I know that's how Douyin likes to do it lately, so. Okay, and so the last thing I need is a really poppin' highlighter. And so for that, I'm gonna use the Pat McGrath highlighter from Bridgerton. It's in Iridescent Gold. I currently can't think of any better highlighter for this. I love this highlighter. And yes, I am planning on picking up the new Star Wars collaboration. Kind of bummed that Mothership 6 is being repackaged because that means I can't get it, but okay, so I am pretty much done. All that's left is lips. Now, I'm gonna be eating dinner, so I'm gonna put on the lip for the sake of this video, but it's gonna come right off, like, whatever, it's fine. So let me take my hair down. Once it gets to like the low 50s, high 40s, it starts getting real chilly for me. My hands start freezing and everything. Okay, so I'm gonna wear a nice pretty lip, and I think I'm just gonna go ahead and wear like a tinted balm. I'm gonna be eating and I'm gonna be walking around, and I think I prefer to have a balm of some kind. I'm just going to use the YSL Shine Balm in the shade 131. It is a very nice red. I'm just gonna use this today. If I don't line my lips, I just purse my lips together until it kind of overlines my lips for me. I'm gonna probably just go ahead and bring this in my bag with me so I can reapply it, but that's gonna be this makeup look. I do like it. I'm gonna have, I'll put on head accessories. I probably won't have head accessories on because I'm gonna have a hood of a jacket on the whole time because it's cold. But then to set everything, I really like using the Benefit Professional Setting Spray. I think that's the best one. And I find whenever I use that one, my makeup lasts literally forever. So I hope you guys enjoy this makeup. If I have, I'll try and get some like brief footage and at least maybe some photos of me and my outfit at the Lantern Festival, and like I'll stick them at the end of the video so you guys can at least see what I look like. But okay, bye.